Hey, it's Laurel from The Challenge. We're on Zach NICHOLS' podcast, and I hope you tune in because you're not going to want to miss it.
Welcome back to the Zach NICHOLS podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Zach NICHOLS.
And more importantly,
We have the GOAT, the greatest of her time, Miss Laurel Stucky in the building. In your backyard.
yeah, welcome
Pretty
home.
much, yeah.
This is where you grew up.
Sort of.
Ish.
I was born in Pontiac.
Well, yeah.
So I was born in this.
We're in the...
How
in
far?
Pontiac.
So you grew up less than what? 15 minutes from right here?
You could probably get to my house in 4 minutes from here.
Right.
Golly,
Yeah.
you are right in the neighborhood. How does it feel to be back home? And what do you feel about the studio right here in, half a mile from, where you were born?
I love it. I love that Zach brings like Michigan to the challenge. And so, obviously started this podcast and it's rep in Detroit. And so it makes me happy because this is, my hometown and I have so many years, so many memories, so much history here. And so even just flying into DTW, when I was in high school, I built that airport.
Yeah.
I literally was like on the radio with some radio host, whatever, doing like the announcing. And then my friend's mom was like an event planner. So we like set this whole thing up like as they were opening, the McNamara terminal in Detroit. So like even flying into that airport, I was like, we set that fountain up, we set this up, we set that up. And it's just like everything floods back.
It is a beautiful airport.
Isn't it?
It is one of the cleanest, nicest airports.
Every time
I mean that.
I
swear.
do, yeah.
Every time I pick people up, they're like walking off the plane. I'm like, all right, they're 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
It's like they're walking forever if they don't know how to take the tram.
Right.
But
I never
take
take
the
the
tram.
tram.
Me either.
Dude, it's
No,
fun.
I love the walk.
I love the walk as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the lazy one here.
Let's just start at the top here. Anytime we've had someone on the couch, we always ask the same question: build your Mount Rushmore. And you are always, if not the first, the second girl they bring up. And that's obviously those are the facts of the situation. But I don't think you ever went into the challenge thinking that this was going to be people were going to be talking about like record books and who's the greatest and who's not. It was more of like a fun spring breaky experience. And so did you ever expect that? Like, or did you kind of know going into it, like you said, kind of in your interview, you were like, you realize it's not going to be fair. So you
Yeah.
kind of knew.
Well, all right. So no, I never and here's the thing, like coming from an athletic background, I was breaking records for my entire career in volleyball.
Right.
In even like, just people were talking about me. I was like the high school scholar athlete for like one of the radio stations. Like my coach put me up for
Right.
that. So like I was always breaking records. I don't mean to come off cocky, but
No, you
like,
don't.
I had the most kills in every game. I had the most aces. I was the captain. I was appointed the captain of my team when I was my second year in, and that was unheard of at the time. You either
It
got
still
it as-
is.
yeah. So
That's a senior's position
I
in
know.
high school,
Yeah,
especially.
and I got it as a sophomore. So I was the captain of the team and we were champions of our league. We made it to all of these great games. We toed to toe with some of the best teams in Detroit, like Fraser, Marion.
Mhm.
Those girls kicked fucking ass. And it was, a lot due to my leadership. And I hate talking about myself, but I will say that it
Well, that's what we're
was.
here to do.
Speak your truth.
Yeah, we're here to do exactly that.
I
Talk
love
that talk. Yeah.
I
talk that
love
talk.
being on a team.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. I love being on a team. I am either a born leader or a built leader, maybe both at the same time, and I enjoy it.
Mhm.
I love picking things apart and putting the pieces together and saying that person needs to be there, this person needs to be elevated, this person's going down, bring them back up, take the blame here, put it off of them so they don't feel like it's their fault.
Right.
And then, it helps them, the morale of the team, hyping people up. I love that. I love getting in people's heads.
Yes.
That's one thing that I fucking
You-
love.
You have been inside of my head for years. Like years.
I can't.
I
You
always
kill
say-
me.
From
No, but
inception.
I'm literally like, from day one, like Pierre was like asking about certain people. He's like, Laura, I'm like, I'm deathly afraid of her. I'm definitely afraid to go against her or to disappoint her. And that's the truth, because I think that like your dominance in the game was like going against you is almost like signing your death warrant, because you're going to get power sooner than later. Always more than likely sooner. Do you know what I'm saying? So I always felt as if like the game was very easy for you because you were competing to be the best competitor, not the best female.
Correct.
And it's definitely interesting to hear how excited you are to be part of a team because you are so competent on your own. So it's like relying on other people. There's a certain type of vulnerability that comes with that, right? And you're also taking it upon yourself to get them ready for that moment. So it is interesting insight to hear that for sure.
I mean, I just love the challenge. So the challenge comes with sometimes you're on a team, sometimes with your partner, you know, like sometimes you're on your own, but most of the time you're working with people, you know, either a partner or a huge team. And so, you know, that I love that. And, you know, I bring what I know to that. I try to at least. And, you know, regardless, I think it's quite evident, you know, every challenge I go on, I win half of the challenges, at least half to more. Like, and when I first came out, you know, I think we won 8 out of 10, or we gave one to one of our, we like gave the one, so we won 7 out of 10, and then it's like
you're talking about
5 out of
Fresh Meat with Kenny. That may be one of the greatest challenge teams ever assembled, and I don't think Kenny really gets talked about enough in the sense of how good he was. I mean, I think he, for sure, I can count 3 wins, maybe 4.
Yeah, he has a lot of wins.
3 or 4 wins, but he had a 2nd place with you. He had a 2nd place with Wes.
Yep.
So he's very established.
With Wes?
Rivals won. He lost to Johnny and Tyler. It was.
Oh, yes. Correct. Sorry. Yeah.
So this guy's, he goes to almost every final he's ever competed in. He doesn't get talked about enough. And I think like it's the best. One of the coolest things about having you in the studio is you just did Ride or Dies, but you also have this like, Fresh Meat, that was still
season 19.
Yes, exactly.
And we are about to, what is it, season 39?
Right.
So 20 seasons ago, I came through.
That's incredible.
It is. And it's always awesome to have someone in here where it's like, okay, the story of the challenge is something, a phrase that we use. It cannot be told without Zach. It definitely is going to miss about half the fucking book without Laurel stuff.
So do you feel like pressure to always win and be the best?
You are so funny. So
because I feel pressure for you.
I don't feel it.
Okay.
They
Because
always used to ask me that when when I came through, and I remember in my interviews, I'm like, I'm so boring, because every question they ask me, I'm like, no, I don't feel that.
Did you hear what Emer said about you in the doc?
No.
She literally said, everyone in production gets excited when you say yes to the original call, because they said that completely changes everyone's reaction to how they're playing the game. All the girls are scared and all the guys are it is true. It's like you want to be on Laurel's side. You don't want her against you. It's true. And like Emer literally said in the doc, she gets really excited. And that's the other interesting thing about you is you haven't done a lot back to back to back. You were one of the people who would do one and then you'd say no and you'd step away for 1 or 2 seasons, which is crazy to me because I was always at first like, I got to do every single one because you never know when you're going to get the call, but you had like the confidence to be like, I'm all set. And then you come back and you do one. So like, talk more about that. Like talk about like the decision to like know your dominance, but also know that you took so many years off too. Like, you know, and a lot of it was probably for school and stuff, but
no, at the time, no.
You were choosing like, I just need like kind of like a break.
So, I mean, you would know this. Being on television isn't the easiest.
No, it's not.
Thing. So I did 3 seasons back to back. So I started with Fresh Meat 2, and then I did Cutthroat, and then I did Rivals.
And that was 3 finals in a row.
3 finals in a row, and 3 second place finishes in a row, which to me was like, I fucking suck. Basically.
I get it. I've been there. I did two. Yeah, I've
3
been
finals in a row, taking money every time, but still to you in your head, like I don't deserve to be here almost, or what?
Not that I don't deserve to be
Thank
here.
you.
It's just
make sure they know that it's 3 in a row.
It's just I was just like this. I was so mad. I just mad.
That is true because you go there, you do all the work, you're there for all that time, and you get so close to winning, like with Kenny. Then you have people die on you, right? In Cutthroat, and then Rivals too. Like you went against arguably the most.
She kicked my ass. She deserved that.
But those two, and Paula can run. If Paula has someone who can be like, Paula, roll with me. You don't have to think. You don't have to do any thinking. You just have to run and eat. Paula will kill that. Paula does a bad job when she has to be like the leader, I found. And so that was arguably one of the the best endurance of any two girls you're ever going to go against.
Amazing.
So like that,
Yeah.
I get that one, but I understand where you're coming from because luckily I had my win early so that I got it. But I know, like, you know, vendettas, Cara gets me in a like, no, because if I didn't have it, I would be the biggest bust to ever be on the challenge if I didn't get the win. 100%. Everyone's like, this guy's gonna be this big, strong freak of an athlete, and then I come on and never win. Like, what a loser. You know, so I got that out of the way. But like, I got
Congrats.
second on vendettas, second on War of the Worlds, third on free agents, embarrassed the shit out of myself. I know how you feel because I have that same mindset. I'm not nearly as dominant as you. Like, I lose a lot more elimination rounds as you, but I have that mentality where I'm like, if I go on a show in the right mindset, I'm always a threat to get to a final, possibly win, depending on who is there. You have the mindset of not only am I going to probably get to the final, but I have the ability to win against anyone. And you do.
Thank you.
Because you kill the equalizers, and then you're almost like you're a freak of nature. How you climb that mountain, and then we're able to traverse your way down. You know what I was doing down that mountain?
No.
Because every time I tried to stop, I'd cramp up. I was just letting myself hit the trees. So I was like taking steps and like basically like this, hitting a tree. And you were like looking back at me like, what the hell is he doing? I was using the trees to stop myself as we were going down the other side of the mountain. And I just was watching you like, and you were just like one speed the whole time. And so.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I was using trees to stop myself.
Oh.
But here's the thing: if I was you in that position, I would have treated me way worse.
I know.
I was literally gonna say, like, doing all that you did after 3 seconds, and the moment is just I'm getting reminded how big it was for you to win that one. Because
imagine that. So
that concludes the free preview of the Zach Nichols podcast.
So go to Patreon and subscribe to see the rest of the shit that we talk.
Go do it now.